Good morning. This is Jeannie with Jeannie's Legacy Albums. We are currently working on our Mother Goose album, 8x8x2. Today we are going to work on signature number 2. Let's get with it. Okay, let's see here. It's a page. We are going to have 2 flaps on the front. We are going to have an upward flap in the middle, sideways pocket on that flap, and I'm thinking about maybe a big pocket on the inside. So the first thing we need to do is add our flaps to our base page. Okay. And as usual, I didn't write it down. Page 2, that's the top flap. We want the side flaps. And this right flap, this is for the right side of our book, is going to be 4 7/8 by 7 3/8. And we're going to measure the left-hand side flap at the same time. This one is 4 7/8 by 7 3/8. Now with each of the flaps, we're going to make a 1/2 inch score line along the long sides of each one. Over here, we're going to do a 1/2 inch score line. And on this one, we're going to do a 1/2 inch score line. These 2 flaps are exactly the same. And we are going to put the score tape on each one of them. Okay, right flap. So we're going to take the right flap and attach it to our base page. And when I say base page, this is one of the pocket pages we made. This one says number 2. So I know that this page is for signature number 2. Try to get it back in the corner as best and as level as we can, lining everything up just how we want it. Make sure everything looks good. And then pull our zip cord and let that score tape do its thing. Burnish it down and then go inside and then burnish it down. Now we're going to do the one on the other side. And I find it easier to flip the whole book over and add the other page while it's still in the same position for me. So this one we are going to do the same thing. Line it up the best we think we can. Make sure it all looks good. Then flip this page over and make sure it still all looks good. Now this one's a little conky walk. That needs to come to there, and that needs to come to there. Then we are going to pull our score tape paper out and burnish it down. We have our right flap and our left flap. Now we are going to put an upper flap in this one. This particular flap is going to be 7 3/8 by 7 7/8. You're going to cut your paper to that size. You're going to score it on the top end, and then you're going to put your score tape on it. And we're going to flip this over and put the flap on. Pull back just a little bit. Now I've made this flap so it'll be a little bit shorter on each end. You kind of want to gather it up in the middle so you can see it's just maybe 1/4 of an inch on each side. Line it up so it fits well up here. And check your bottom. And that looks a little bit too long for me. So I'm going to take a hair of it off. We want it to end exactly where the back page does. We will try this again. Line it up at 1/4 of an inch from each side, making sure it's level at the top. And no overhang on the bottom. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, everything looks good. We will pull off the tape. Now, when this page works, this flap will come down first. These 2 flaps will cover it. First thing we need to do here is our magnets. So we are going to need a nice big magnet for each side of these. We need a plus and a minus. Again, the basic gray magnets that tell you which each size is. Flip them together. And we always put the magnet on the shortest side of the paper. However, these papers are exactly the same. So I'm just going to bring it in to where I think it looks nice and set it down. We'll pull the top piece off. Not happy with the way that's laying. And then carefully make sure this one lines up with the bottom. And bring down our magnet. And then carefully slide your page off. And there are your magnets. As always, I'm going to put a little score tape on them to hold them in place while we are building the album. Okay, there is our album. This is, our signature number 2, rough cut. So now we're going to put a piece of paper in the back. And I have chosen the one that says bedtime story on it. I'm going to make sure it fits just like we want it to. That looks good, and it has already been distressed. Again, I prefer to use the tape when I cannot hold a piece in my hand. If I can hold it in my hand, I will use glue. Get all 4 sides. And your two pieces down the middle. It's going to go this way. So I want my pieces. Little piece here, just to help with bubbles. And a little piece here. This page will have a little bit of weight on it. So we want to make sure that our base paper is down good and snug. Then we are going to burnish the whole thing. Take your bone folder and just burnish it up nicely. And then I will trim off all of my little overhangs. That looks good. Clean off my scissors. And we're going this way. I'm going to undo this one first. This will be our left side. We will hold the left side with just one finger and part of the thumb. We don't want to get our hands full of it because it will stick to our hands and it will be hard to get off. Then we're going to bring it back into the book and line it up till we think it is exactly where we want it. When all looks well, you burnish down the one side where you had removed the tape covering. Then we will go in and remove the two vertical pieces of tape and set that down to where we think it looks good. Now we can go back and remove the other three pieces of tape. Okay, that takes care of that. Now let's see, this is the right front. So for signature number 2 on the right hand front, we're going to use this on the back of the page. Let's see how this fits. This looks good. And we're going to use this one for the front of our page. And this looks good. They have already been distressed, so we are going to ink them. We're going to put glue on them and get them in the book. This time I will use glue because I can hold the whole piece of paper in my hand. Yeah. Haven't been in here for a day or two. The glue doesn't want to work. We will clean it up again. And once again, pump our pin in it several times to loosen up anything inside. Now we will lightly go around the edges. And then just little squigglies all the way through the page to help keep it secure. We shall go back, put it in our book. I line it up very carefully where it looks good on these two corners. Then I carefully make sure this line lines up with that line. Perfect. Okay, then we will burnish it down. And now we will put the outside cover on. And we will do the same thing. We're going to remove our score tape from our magnet and go ahead and put a little extra glue on the magnet, the score tape, and all around the magnet. We're going to glue the back of our paper. All the way around the perimeter. Just a nice solid bead, and then just your little bits of squigglies down the inside. Again, I will line it up with the top and the bottom. Make sure everything is the same distance apart. Looks good. Burnish it down. And burnish it well where your magnet is. Okay, now we will come over here and do the same thing to the left-hand side. We'll take off our score tape. We're going to take our inside blue paper, which has already been distressed. We're going to put glue around the perimeter. And some squigglies up and down throughout the whole page. And quickly, before the glue has a chance to dry, put some of your glue around and on your magnet. Back to your corner. Line up your corners so that the amount of black you have showing is exactly what you want it to be, and it will all be even with each other. Put it down, burnish it. Now we will put the front cover on. The same Mary Had a Little Lamb, Humpty Dumpty paper. Again, triple check. Make sure it's where you want it. It lines up just fine. So ready to glue around the perimeter. Give it its squigglies up and down the middle. Just to tack it in a little bit. Go back to our corners. Match them to just where you want them to be. A little too high on that one. Pretty soon I'm going to run out of time with this. There we go. And then we will burnish it down. And I have decided on these two flaps to put little belly bands. So I have cut these little pieces of cardstock. Four and 7/8 by 1. And let's make sure this is the same thing. 4 and 7/8 by 1. And we will also double check and make sure they are going to fit right where I plan to put them. This one looks good. We'll go ahead and glue it on. Nope, that's wrong. Don't glue the whole thing like I did. Get it off of there. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Rub it off the best you can. Set it aside so it completely dries. We will go to the other side. This one fits. We are only going to glue 3 sides of this. 2 sides of this. This isn't a pocket. This is a belly band. So we're going to glue 2 ends of it, stick it where we want it, push them down so none of the paper underneath the cardstock shows through. And I have chosen this paper, which is the other side of this, to go on the front of the belly band. These have already been burnished. Not burnished, distressed. So now we can cover the whole piece of paper. And we will go back and put this right in the middle of our belly band. There we go. That looks perfect. Now, this piece of paper should be dry. But to make sure, I am going to put the glue on each end of this paper on the opposite side of where I had put the glue before. And we're going to line this one up so that it matches this one. And again, try to line it up so none of your pattern paper will show under the edges of it. Then we are going to take our second belly band cover sheet. This one we will glue all over. And stick it right in the middle of the belly band over where we put all the glue. Make sure they line up with each other. Push it down. And there's your 2 front pages. So if you're very careful when you make a mistake, like I did with the glue, rub it all off as quick as possible. Flip it over so there's no possible that any glue that hadn't quite dried is going to stick down there, and put it on. Okay. Now we're going to do our top flap. I've chosen this paper. Up above the world, it has all the words to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star on it. It's going to go up here, and I am going to mark it that I want this to be in the top corner. This is the top corner. I'm going to flip it over to make it easier to work with. Get it all lined up. It is distressed, so we're going to put tape on the back of this one. And then we are going to put our 2 short pieces of tape. Flip it over, burnish the whole thing. Now I've missed the tape a little bit on this side. Instead of trying to trim it off, I'm just going to push it under when we actually apply it to the page. We will cut off the overhangs in the corners. Okay, this looks good. Now we want to make sure we line up our 2 arrows because we are putting this in the album upside down. And when we're done, I definitely want it to be right side up. Take off the far piece of score tape, cover, line up your arrows. Now this one's going to have a little wider seam on it than I care for, but oh well. It looks even, so I'm going to pounce it down. And then go in and take the 2 inside pieces off. Line them up, push them down, and then go back and remove the remaining 3 pieces of tape covering. 1, 2, and 3. Something caught in there with my tape. And I forgot to tuck the overhang tape out. When I put it on, it doesn't show very much, but I just take the little edge of my hooky tool and push it along here, and it will tuck all of that extra tape back under where it belongs. So, here we go so far. We have our inside flap, our outside flaps. Now we're going to decorate the outside one. This one I already have the arrow on it, so I know where it goes. But it's a little too long. So we're going to cut a tad bit of it off. Always measure your paper 2 or 3 times before you put it in, so you do not ruin your album by doing something wrong that could have been avoided. Okay, this looks much better. I have my arrow here My arrow here, I do need to re-burnish, not burnish, distress the side of the paper where I cut it. Gotta cover all those white marks. Then we will use our tape again. Our two little pieces in. Flip it over and burnish it well. And then I will cut off my overhangs. Looks like I might only have one on that page. That's nice. We'll go back, take off the left-hand side, bring it back to the front of our cover, and like I said, just a little bit of your thumb and your forefinger holding that sticky part while you line up the rest of your page and get it exactly where you think you want it. Carry it over and see if it's going to look even all the way to the other side. If it does, push it down and burnish it. Again, we go back inside and remove our two side strips, our middle strips, pardon me. Take this corner and carefully put it where you want it to be. Now we can go back and remove the other three pieces of tape. Then I go back and erase the arrow. This one I made large for some reason. Burnish it all down. And your flap is finished. But we are not finished with the flap. We are going to put a little side pocket on the flap. So we take our chipboard, our cardstock, measure it up, and we will glue three sides of it. The two short sides and the long side along the back. And the pocket's going to the side. Match it up where you want it. Make sure it's right where you want it. Burnish it down. There is a little pencil mark showing through here. I want to erase that before we put our cover piece on. And I have chosen the black and white checkers to go on top of this. This looks good. We will use our glue. And this one, we shall put glue on all sides. And squigglies down the middle. Go over here, center it in the middle where you think it's going to be, as perfect as it's going to get. Burnish it down. Some writing on the outside of this one. And a little tick mark down there. Now basically, I have done what I'm thinking of doing, but I'm also considering maybe putting a pocket here or a great big belly band here. I haven't decided yet. So when we come back to decorate the pages, we'll make a decision on what I'm going to do with the inside. So this takes care of signature number 3. We will join you shortly for signature number 3.